Walk around the compound, baby. See some tigers. Oh, you run over. You run over. You're just all excited to see it, just like run, 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 run. So excited. As soon as I flip the camera on, yep, there he goes. Inside. Back inside his lockdown. Now he's coming back. But you are just a bastion of duality. You're a walking spotted contradiction, sir. Alright, well, enough with Milo. How about this other guy? Huh? How about this other guy? Hey there, fella. How you doing? What? Don't be such a grumpy Gus. Aww. Sad face. Sad face at your grumpy face. Sad face at your grumpy face. Oh. Maybe I can capture a little bit of rubby face. Sometimes you just gotta let these moments just kind of play themselves out. Just let her keep on doing her thing. She is in love with her stump. Hi. Hi, beautiful. Were you rubbing? Were you rubbing on your stump? Having a good rub? Hey, baby. Ooh, sniff, sniff, sniff. The detail on her face is impeccable. Oh. What? That wasn't even like a growl or a burp. I don't know what that was. Seeing some kitties. Seeing some kitties. Miss Tauntaun. What? I saw you. I see you. Hi. Hi, baby. Hello. Hi, sugar pie. Hi, baby. How are you? Look at you, pretty girl. Looking so pretty. With your whiskers and your affairs. Hi, babe. Not terribly too conversational at the beginning. There we go. There we go. Because you were chatty. You were pretty chatty a lot earlier today. I would go inside to the back room of the vet center to grab something, you know, and then she'd be on her mattress, and then she would just like just chatting while I was looking in drawers or trying to get a key or just grabbing stuff. Just like, hey, what you doing? What you doing? Yeah. Hi, baby. Pretty girl. Oh, look at this handsome sir. Oh, with his coiffed hair blowing in the wind. It's so wonderful. So glorious. Magnificent. And without further ado, hello, all you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek, again. Welcome to another super duper fantastic, wonderful, hopefully insightful, entertaining, possibly humorous, but probably not going to be very walk around the compound webcast. Back to Tawny. Huh. Wow. Oh, it has been a work-filled day out here in the compound. Out in the compound. We are now 0 interns deep. We are circle/interns. No more. This is always this time of year. We always go through this. And it's me and it's Heidi and then, you know, like whatever volunteers, you know, come out when they can, and then it's our kids, and you know, taking care of the compound, taking care of business. And a lot of times it's that day-to-day stuff. It's that day-to-day stuff. You know, watering, doing meds, butchering animals, cleaning out the freezer, cleaning enclosures. There's a lot of those day-to-day kind of things that it's really nice to have that that regular bit of help around. Speaking of volunteers, there's Derek. There's another Derek, spelled the same way. That's actually Cassie's adoptive dad over there. Yeah, Cassie's adoptive dad. Did you know that there are 2 Dereks here? No, you didn't. Well, some of you did. Some of you did. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Oh, you have a YouTube channel yourself, don't you? What is it?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't remember? You post like he's nuts, insane, talented on the bass, just like that stuff. Like really, I mean, what is it? Like you play like a 10-string bass with like a 10-string double bass. Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
No.
No, that's not.
But yeah, he's got some fantastic chops on the bass. That's what he does. He plays bass guitar, a lot of heavy metal stuff, tremendously dexterous. Is that the word? Dexterous? Dexterous? No, I don't even know. Dexterous. I'm getting myself mixed up now. But it's like, it's fast. It's crazy. There's a lot of notes all at once. It's like, whoa. It's pretty cool.
Occasionally upload videos of the cats.
And he occasionally uploads videos of the cats as well. But we don't even know the name of it. So
yeah, my name's Derek Blakely. You can search by that and probably find it. Actually my channel name may be Craptacular, or it may be my name. I can't remember which one. I can't remember how to search and find it.
But yeah, Derek's been working out here, volunteering out here at CARE for a long time. He's on a board of directors and Cassie's adoptive papa. Now, you started off as an adoptive dad, right?
Yes.
And then basically, like, you slowly just, you know, or very quickly just, you know, became more, yeah, just more enamored with the facility and just, you know, became a very common face, a very common individual in the inner workings. One of our few, we have a few, like, good tour guides, and, like, he is, like, you know, the guy, he's got, you know, he's got that, again, pleasing baritone voice, and he talks good about the cats and whatnot. Hi, Max. Ugh. Hi, bud. Oh, look at you, Mr. Stretch. Oh, handsome boy. Still very leery about people and things. Me, you know, in particular. I think he was influenced by Ace a little bit too much. Hi, me. How are you? Yeah. I'm supposed to listen to Max. I'm supposed to. Anyway, so I'll see you later, sir. I'm going to continue my webcasting in this direction. So yeah, that's Derek. Double Derek! Ah! I love it. I love it. So awesome. That was great. That was a great whisper moo, Papa. That was really good. That was really good. Where are you going? Where are you going? You've got more whisper moos inside of you. You've got more. Yes, you do. Hi, bud. Oh, but yeah, I've definitely, it's made me, and here's the thing, like I always, I think in like analogies. I always think in comparativisms. I know that that's not a word, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I always, you know, think like, what is this thing that I'm currently doing? What does it represent? What is it a thing that could possibly be talked about? Metaphor, analogy, simile. I like those types of things. Finding the symbolic nature of stuff. And I was thinking about the fact that this is a really difficult time of the year. Even when I'm here on a regular basis, it's still a really difficult time of the year because our workforce goes down significantly on that day-to-day basis. So that means that when I am here, you know, I gotta really focus on getting a lot of the different things done that normally would get performed by our interns, our intern staff. And I'm not able to put as much energy into different elements of the brand or the content as I would like. Trying to grow it, trying to make it a bigger, increasing the footprint, so to speak. And I think that one of the ultimate goals, or one of my big short-term goals just in life, is to try to make this social media personality thing work to the point that can be my primary source of income, and that can be the thing that I focus on solely. And it's like when you're so torn by all the different obligations and the responsibilities that you have, it's difficult. It's difficult to then focus in earnest in the way that you would like, in the direction that you would like. But then it's like also, yeah, okay, let's break this down a little bit. I can choose to try to focus on the content, try to focus on messages, on education, on advocacy, on our financial stability of the organization, which is very strongly and directly impacted by this very content right here. I mean, it certainly is, and there's no mistake about that. That a major influencing factor on how we're able to now pay our bills versus how we really weren't able to pay our bills is directly correlated to the quality of the quality and the frequency of this content. So then it makes you think like, okay, well, I want to focus more on that. But if you get so far out of but if you get so far out of the content and I know, I gotta focus more on the moos. I gotta focus on the moos. If I did more, if I just had a channel of nothing but moos, it would be the most popular channel on the internet. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. The most popular in all of the internet would be all moos all day. Mootastic. Oh. Very fuzzy lips. You are so full of moos. You're gonna make me forget like what it is that I'm talking about, because I'm just sitting here, I am enveloped in the Moodle wave. The Moodle wave of the Moodle wave of moos. It's kind of a redundant statement. I was trying to think of like a good kind of a pun to put moos into something that happens a lot of. A movalanche. Oh, so Heidi's over there. But I think what I was talking about was this idea that you have this brand footprint, and it's centered around my life and my experience working at this facility and being the operations director, and having insight and workable knowledge of the facility as it stands. What's going on, the status of things, the status of projects, and there's a certain amount of like having your edge, having your wits about you, continuing to be the thing that that gave you that notoriety in the first place. There's something to be said about that. And it's like, if I were to just like step too far out of the workings of the facility, to focus, you know, to dive very robustly into content creation, then I may lose like whatever magic it is that makes this whole thing just kind of click, kind of work. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking about that, and when I was out there doing a lot of the stuff today, and how nice it is. And that's also like another thing, like, you know, like we prided ourselves in this organization on being like, hey, we're all volunteer. We're all volunteer organization. You know, for the longest time. And we stuck by that, and we said like, oh, this is a really great thing. But I think that when you think about it, it makes more sense, and I think that it's a better thing to say like, hey, we can actually afford to pay people, meaning that we're not volunteer. Like, volunteer is another word for amateur, even though it might not necessarily be the case. Volunteer really is. I mean, like, in the eyes of the John Q. Jane Doe public, volunteer equals amateur, regardless of their skill level. Paid person equals professional. That's just how that is. And there's something to be said about having an actual staff that can handle and take care of those day-to-day kind of things. And it lends itself more to the integrity of the organization as a whole. At least that's my opinion. That's what I think. And it is. So yeah, it's one of those things where working towards like having more people, you know, actually getting paid within the organization. Now there are occurrences where, you know, of course we'll have contract labor that comes out and helps us do things like skilled tradespeople and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, you gotta pay those individuals. So that's definitely a thing. Heidi finally starting to, you know, we got board approval for Heidi to finally actually start getting a very meager bit of pay, but it's something. It's a start, and that's I mean, that's such a good thing. I mean, it's something that she's been absolutely deserving, you know, for stinking forever. She's the one that keeps this place afloat, and it's not me, because here's the thing, like, you forget, or some people forget, they come out here and then they're so excited to see Derek, and they're so quick to say, like, Derek, if it wasn't for you, that this place would be, you know, would be nothing. But that's not the case. Like, if I went away, this place would still be fine. It would, I'm sure that there's elements of it that would kind of be a little bit, there'd be an uncomfortable adjustment period, but it'd be fine. If Heidi was gone, I don't know if this place would survive. That's the truth. That's the truth. I'm expendable. I'm replaceable. She is not. I mean, no, Derek, don't say such things. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. No, but what I was getting to before was the idea that it makes sense to, you know, have individuals within the organization that can do those types of things. Because if there are people who possess the capabilities of doing the more grinding day-to-day tasks, it leaves those in the leadership echelon of the organization to do the things that you need a more select skill set for, I guess I should say. And this is not a knock on, like, you know, on workers or interns that come in, but they are entry-level individuals, so they do perform entry-level tasks. Waters, meds, you know, stuff like that. But tremendously important things, time-consuming things. And in this old world, I mean, of course, you got to sit there and think time equals money. And if I can sit there and I can focus on making really high-quality videos that get a lot of views and a lot of reach, that translates into greater economic stability for the organization over time, which translates into a greater ability to hire even more specialized individuals to perform even more tasks. So, yeah, that's... And I know that this is like, you know, like economic, like 101 type stuff. There's a lot of people who are like, you know, I am a sophomore at my university, and this is pretty much like how to organize a business 101, you know, kind of thing. And I get that, but it's definitely, it's taken us a while to kind of, I guess, understand these things a little bit more fundamentally. Or I guess maybe not necessarily understand these things. We've always understood a lot of this stuff, but I'm getting to the point where we're able to actually actualize this type of stuff. And 2015, I mean, so far has been our best year. I want 2016 to be our best year, and then I want 2017 to be our best year. I want to keep on making the next year for the facility the best year, so that this place can continue to exist. This place can continue to build upon and expand upon its mission. When we talked before about, like, you know, I know that I kind of talked a little bit before in kind of a woe is me kind of tone about the future of the organization. And a lot of people were, you know, they understood like what I was trying to get at. And a lot of people were very positive. They're like, look, you guys you're dynamic and you're smart and you are adaptable and you guys are survivors. And I read a lot of that stuff and I'm like, you know what? They're right. They're right. Like, why, like, maybe I shouldn't be sweating a lot of this stuff. You know, like, I don't know about the future, guys. No, just keep on going. And whatever you can do. And like other people are saying, like, look, there's going to be other animals. Like, yes, there is. Of course there is. They may not be tigers. It's going to be weird to, like, still try to be like, hey, I'm BigCatDerek, even though I don't really work with a lot of big cats anymore. I mean, even though you got to sit there and think, like Slade and Boomer, they're still going to be around for years and years and years. So if we never rescue another cat, I can still technically be BigCatDerek for hopefully like the next like 18 to 20 years. Hopefully. Unless, of course, we inject all the cats with nanobots that act as augments to their immune systems and help to reverse the aging process. Do 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 do. Oh, future things, futurisms. Oh, yeah. Oh, what I was talking about before about analogies and metaphors. It's almost kind of like how some of the different things that I'm kind of formulating the next like tier, the next level of the things that the topics that interest me, the advocacy goals that I have, the ambitions, I guess, that I have, which is to try to educate and try to talk a little bit more about some of the fundamental tenets of some conservation issues. And a lot of this stuff happens to be centered around like the viability of people in third world situations, oftentimes rural third world situations. And it's kind of like the concept that was laid out in the historical book Guns, Germs, and Steel. It talked a lot about how a lot of Western civilizations were able to grow to great prominence and kick off the Industrial Revolution because of thousands of years of prior geographic luck, socioeconomic luck, and a couple of other factors that kind of came into play that allowed them to build more advanced societies and again create those tiers within their societal structures that what Rasa, what's going on? What's going on? We just cleaned her earlier today. There's no food inside of her house at all. Did something pinch you? Rasa? What happened? Obviously, she's not a fan of Guns, Germs, and Steel. So it was a revolutionary book. But it talked about like just those exact concepts that that there are people in third world situations and oftentimes like rural third world situations that through a lot of factors that came into play over the course of tens of thousands of years, actually. Oh, she's got a piece of chicken. She's got a piece of chicken. Oh my gosh, Layla. Factors that have spanned over the course of tens of thousands of years. You still have people that are living in, you know, a lot of these more like hunter-gatherer tribal societies. And it was actually the guy who wrote the book, he actually got into, I don't know if he went into some anthropological expeditions, and they went into some jungle areas, and there were some native individuals who, of course, who had been living in those jungle regions, still engaged in hunter-gatherer techniques, stuff that had been, you know, engaged by pretty much everyone, all ancestors of modern societies like tens of thousands of years ago, but they were still there, and other societies had moved on. Like, you know, the societies of China, of the Middle East, of Europe had gone on. Northern Africa, those societies, I mean, like, all of these societies had gone on, but then there was other societies who still are not even societies, but there were still like large segments of the population that maintained this kind of like tribal status. And they asked this guy, they asked the author, they're like, well, because like they came in with like gear and like helicopters, and they had all this stuff, these modern wonders. And a lot of these tribal people are like, well, what makes you guys like what makes you guys special? Like, how come you have this stuff and like we don't? And this guy like really kind of took that question to heart, and he like really tried to like break it down and analyze it. And again, the book is called Guns, Germs, and Steel, and that's basically like the three things that shaped the modern world. It's pretty fascinating type stuff. But like a big part of what a lot of like this guy's historical theories kind of break down to is that there are so many of those tribal societies who were not able to, like, it's almost like the fact that they have to spend so much time hunting and gathering for subsistence kept them in that hunter-gatherer kind of thing. They were not able to devote greater insight and energy towards actually like building the foundations of societies. And it's not that it's not like it's not like people in tribal societies are any less intelligent than people in modern societies. And in many cases, they're actually more intelligent because of the problem solving that these individuals have to do on a day-to-day basis simply to stay alive, to find food, to not die in an austere environment. The mechanisms inside of their brain that are centered around problem solving are far beyond those of us in modern societies who do that all day. But are like the literacy rates, the childbirth and death rates, like average life expectancy tends to be higher in those modern ones. And I mean, doing that stuff, like looking up pictures of cats on the internet, I mean, come on, you guys know, it's pretty darn fun. Hi, Tess. Hi, Tess. So it's almost like not having like a strong paid staff, or at least not having like an intern staff is an analogy, or it can be kind of representative of that paradigm that would keep a lot of tribal societies, it would keep them from breaking through that stratospheric layer and formulating stronger systems of agriculture and education and scholarship and science and technology and all of that stuff that comes along with being in a society. Now, I know that a lot of people are like, yeah, but those tribal people, they can be they were more in tune. They were more in tune, and I get you, But I think that if you were to basically ask most people, like in the world, like, would you rather, have like this communion with, I guess, well, that's a, I gotta be careful about how I'm kind of formulating the question. Is it, would you rather have a lot of like the good pro things of being in like a modern society, like being on an electrical grid, having access to education and healthcare, and like having an understanding of science and doing like that type of stuff. Like, would you trade those types of things to have, I guess, more of a much more hard life, but I guess more communion with like the natural world? I think a lot of people would, I don't know, and like, but there's a lot of people who, of course, like within like generations, they're definitely, they're completely ingrained in the world that they live in. There's a lot of different tribal societies within like the equatorial region, like equatorial Brazil, equatorial like African regions, like equatorial Indonesia. Absolutely, and they would never want to trade anything. They've been exposed to the modern world. They don't want it. They're fine with it, and that's cool. But there's a lot of people. I think that I'm looking at things like long range, like throughout the course of history. I mean, it just seems like more people would want to go the way of society than not. But then you sit there and ask, like, well, you know, like, we're doing all these things to the planet, we're polluting all this stuff, and there's corruption, and then there's all these things, and there's war. Absolutely. But I think, again, because I've like the whole philosophy of ecomodernism, that we're kind of like we're in a bit of a technological adolescence right now. That's what Carl Sagan calls it. We're in a technological adolescence. We're also in the fossil fuels era. And if we can use our technology and our greater powers of society, we can punch even through the stratospheric layer that we're in now, I think. Where we have a hyper advanced society that has a wonderful degree of symbiosis with the natural world around it. I don't think that in order to do good things and be good to the planet around us, I don't think that it's a requirement that we give up all of our technology and we give up all of the advancements of society and try to adopt an Amish lifestyle. You know, while we slap ourselves and cry like, oh, we screwed up. Oh. I'm so sorry, Mother Earth. Like, I don't think we have to do that. We can go forward. Clean energy. That's a good start. Clean. You got guys like Acon trying to get like a huge solar power grid started up in Africa that's going to possibly give like 600 million people power. That's tremendous. You have folks like Elon Musk, who is trying to really just rapidly develop solar panel technology. He's creating the Gigafactory over in Nevada, which is going to be the world's largest lithium-ion battery factory in the world. He's making his Tesla vehicles, trying to make an electric vehicle that can be bought for like $35,000, which is an electric vehicle that has like a 300 to 400 mile range on like one charge, which is just fantastic. And having a huge network of charging stations all over the United States that are, again, like run on like solar. Like, that's like fantastic. Like, that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Like pushing forward, not going back. There's a lot of environmentalists, there's a lot of people within the environmental movement that think we got to go back. I don't. Forward. A lot of the ecomodernist philosophy basically says, like, if we can get ourselves to such hugely advanced levels of technological prowess, we can basically completely separate ourselves from most of like the natural world. That we can let the world, like, this is the great, huge ambition of ecomodernists and the ecomodernist philosophy. That we can embrace our technology, we can embrace our technological advancements, we can live in clean, self-sustaining cities all around the world. Our technology would be able to sustain us, and then we could live in this kind of new kind of world that we don't have to do so much to gather up natural resources. We don't have to, or, I mean, I shouldn't say the word, but we wouldn't have to affect carbon cycles, you know, like we do. We wouldn't have to engage in such like rapid deforestation like we do. Basically, the technology would allow us to just leave nature alone and just let it do its thing, because we would have all of our basic needs covered by the wondrous technological advancements that that we are privy to. Those are the fundamental tenets of ecomodernism. But one of the biggest things about that is getting other people in the world, getting everyone on the same level, So yeah, that's a big thing that I want to possibly try to advocate for, because it's like I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, well, I love tigers. I don't want tigers to go, and I love lions. I don't want either one of them to go extinct. That sucks. Well, what are some of the things that are affecting them? And then you start to kind of break a lot of that stuff down. And then it's like that what is it? The Occam's razor concept, where you just keep on just slashing things away until you get to like the fundamental root of the problem. And I think energy is one of the biggest catalysts. Hi, baby. I really do. I think energy is one of the primary ones. Slade. Hi, bud. Man, this is a really long webcast. Was not expecting this to be this long, but just sometimes it happens. We're going for the record today, folks. But yeah, I think energy is the one of the key things, because I was kind of thinking like, okay, well, how do you know what are the things to try to talk about to what are some of the biggest impactors towards long-term effects of global wildlife, you know, conservation, and getting people a greater economic foothold. And I think energy might be the thing, because is it like the three big things I think are energy, agriculture, and water. Can people drink? Can they eat? And can they flip on the lights? I think energy is the thing that if you build that up, then the other ones can follow, because like, you know, everything runs on energy. Economies run on energy. Transportation grids run on the energy. Water desalination runs on energy. Advanced agricultural practices and machinery runs on energy. Distribution networks run on energy. Connectivity, internet, and people's access to higher understanding and higher knowledge runs on energy. And I think that if you provide energy to a lot of like the developing and the third world and stuff like that, you see a lot of the problems that have been plaguing this world start to slowly fix themselves. It's like a lot of modern environmentalism, a lot of modern conservation philosophy. It's all about putting band-aids on things. Let's breed a couple of these animals and then let's try to release them back into the wild because their numbers have depleted. Well, how about you look at more of the root? Like, why are their numbers depleted? Oh, it's because of a couple of these factors over here. Well, okay, let's fix those factors. I never really thought a lot about any... Hi, Slade. I never really thought a lot about a lot of this stuff until I started, and not even for years working here. But a lot of the stuff I didn't start really thinking about until I really kind of started to do a lot of these webcasts. Because it's like you do this stuff, you do these webcasts, and okay, let's talk about the cats. I'm going to talk about the cats. And we're just going to talk about the cats, talk about the cats, talk about the cats. Okay, well, we've talked a lot about the cats. What else can we talk about? Okay, well, talk about yourself. Okay, talk about yourself, talk about yourself, talk about yourself, talk about yourself. Okay, well, we've talked a lot about herself. What else can we talk about? All right, well, and that's when it's like you start kind of getting, like, you start employing more creativity or a greater level of insight into the different topics that you can touch upon. And now it's trying to delve into the world of some of these large scale, you know, kind of issues. I know that this one is kind of all over the place. Sorry for that. I mean, you know me. My head, it's like a swarm of bees sometimes. Just full of thoughts that just kind of bang into each other all over the place. I thought it was, you know, I think we're having a good time. 46 minutes! Holy crap, chompers! Oh. But yeah, I think though that I may talk more and more because I'm going to research a lot too. But that may be like the big, like a big direction, like as I'm steering like the ship, the big strategic vision of me and where I'm trying to go and what I want to do with the growing voice that I have, is maybe kind of talking more about oh gosh, so sorry. I don't know what happened. I think I may have pressed a button because I stopped recording and I continued talking, and then I looked and I'm just like, I don't see the numbers. No! Oh, how long have I been talking for? It really wasn't that long. I think it was maybe only like 20 seconds. I make it seem